Please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Please carry on.
I would like to restart my discussion on importance of English. I was asked question about the term foreign language and a second language. I was defining foreign language and a second language. Second language is a language which is learned by a nation side by side with their mother tongue. And the vocabularies of a second language are found in different fields of activities, such as in syllabus, in utensils, in prescription, in meetings, in different offices, and that means a second language is next to our mother tongue. So English is a second language in our country, and a foreign language is a matter of hobby. It is a matter of interest. Is a matter of interest. Somebody may learn any language side by side, mother tongue. Suppose a man of Bangladesh may learn French, may learn Portuguese, may learn Spanish, may learn Latin, may learn Arabic. It is his personal matter, and even he may use a foreign language in his writing, in his philosophy, in his lecture, in his deliberation, in politics, wherever he likes. So a foreign language and a second language are not same. And in Bangladesh, English is taught and learned as a second language.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to raise another questions. Do you tell me the difference between traditional English and communicative?
Thank you very much, Mr. Masudur Rahman Tuhin. Traditional English and communicative English. And when English is nothing but a language, and the main purpose of a language is to help people to communicate either in spoken or in written form. But there is also difference between traditional English and communicative English. And in traditional English, written form was more important than a spoken form. The system was SAS.
Why?
Yes, the system was SAS. Written form was given more importance than a spoken form. The system was that. That is a grammar translation method or traditional method. But a question may arise: does it mean that through traditional English people cannot speak in English? Yes, it is also a system for learning a language. So some people on their own effort they learn spoken English. So that was traditional English. But in communicative English, as communicative, that means to communicate. Communication or a spoken English is given, a spoken form is given more importance in the case of communicative form. And in Bangladesh, from class 1 to degree classes, communicative English has been introduced by the government so that students of this country can learn spoken English more quickly than before. Side by side with this, I would like to tell you a simple history of communicative English. The American soldiers, as you know, American soldiers are scattered all over the world. They live in different parts of the world, and they are to communicate with local people and for their own need. and without communicating with anybody, they cannot learn the local matters. So they introduced first communicative English. That means the short form of a language, so that they can teach the local people English in a short time. So they introduced this communicative method.
Okay, we can see you can communicate to others. It is very much important. Without any verb and subject, you can communicate with the people. It is an essential part to communicate somebody.
Without verb.
Without verb or subject, you can express your feelings. Is it possible?
Thank you very much. It's a nice question. You know, verb is called the brain of a sentence.
Right.
Verb is called a brain of a sentence, not only in English but also in every language in the world. So without verb, no sentence can be made. But characteristically, languages are different from one another. Even in Bangla sentence, we sometimes keep some some verbs silent. Expressed verb and unexpressed verb in our Bangla grammar. In the same way, in English, we may shorten some sentences, and in this case, it may seem to us.
When you go to abroad, you can say, "Oh, rice, please rice." I think
it is short sentence. It is short sentence. Yes, this is also sentence, but short sentence. Rice says that means please give me some rice. Please give me some rice. But we can shorten this rice. Yes. In this way, it may seems to us that the foreign people do not use usually verbs. No, it is not right.
I have heard some
It is not
English
right.
language. Solo work. There are some workers. They can speak in English. Slow work. Slow. They are telling like that. Slow work.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Mr. Alimul Morshed is now online. Hello, how are you? You can come to the studio, sir. You can come to the studio. Thank you for coming on live. You know,
Sir.
spoken and written English are not same. Spoken and written language are not same. And in the case of spoken English, in the case of spoken language, not only in English but also in every language, a spoken language may be shortened, as both the parties are present face to face. In that case, without using any word, only by using bodily gestures, we may communicate. Yes, with different signs. Yeah, right. You are, Mr. With by using some bodily gestures, we can make somebody understand what I would like to say.
Right.
But in the case of written English, it's not possible. So necessarily, the spoken and written form of any language not same. So slow work, slow or quick word. When Bangladeshi workers go to foreign countries, though they are not so much educated, for the time being they learn some expression, slow work, rice, come, rice, baby, taxi, bus. It is not only in English but also in Bangla language or in any other language. We may use short expressions instead of long sentences. We may use some short sentences, short form, short expressions.
Okay, in this regard, I'd like to ask you another question.
Yes.
Do you tell me the present system of English teaching in Bangladesh?
Yes, it is also a vital question, important question to discuss the prevailing or present condition, present system of learning and teaching English in our country. As an English teacher, and also as a student of English language, very much conscious of this. Uh, you know, communicative English method, communicative approach, or communicative English system is being taught all over the country, and the syllabus from class 1 to degree classes, the syllabus of English from class 1 to degree classes has been made on that method, communicative method, and but unfortunately, I have to tell you that this system has failed to meet the purpose. This system has failed in this country to meet the purpose of the of the government. So only 33% successful the communicative English in Bangladesh system. So my advice or suggestion to the government to stop communicative English in our country. It is not attractive to the students, also to the teachers of this country, and Bangladeshi people are not ready to accept such types of method, as this has already failed. This method has already failed to meet the demand of the people of this country. Rather, we should go back to our traditional method of teaching and learning.
Can you draw attention to the government of our country?
Of course, I would like to draw the kind attention of the government or the personalities concerned to rethink or revise the system. As an English teacher, I closely observe the system, how much the students are benefited by this method. I know very well, and of course you have observed, as you are a professor in the same college, you have seen that the students of Bangladesh read and write English from class 1 to degree classes, yet they cannot speak in English. This is very unfortunate. Of course, there is fault. There is fault in the system. From class 1 to degree class, how many years do the students of Bangladesh study English? 14 years, perhaps, 10, 12, 13, 15 years, or 16 years. Nearly 16 years, Bangladeshi students study English. But they cannot. Most of the students, even graduates of our country, cannot speak in English. Well, of course, there is problem. By studying a language for long 16 years, the Bangladeshi students, being graduate, cannot speak in English. Most of them.
What's the problems behind this?
Yes, this we will have to find out the problems. We have to find out the drawbacks. In our neighboring country, India, English subject has practical. Listen, English has practical marks, 25 marks or 20 marks in every paper. The students are to face spoken and practical classes, and as they know, they will have to face practical classes. They learn.
It should be imposed in our country.
Yes, right you are. But in our country, there is not a system to face any Viva Voce in English. As a result, students don't feel necessary
Right.
to learn spoken English. They are to face examinations only in written form,
Right.
and in written form they are successful, but in spoken form they are unsuccessful because they are passing their classes one after another. A graduate, of course, has passed all the classes by written form,
Right.
isn't it? A graduate is successful in our country in written English as he has passed every class and he has faced English subject in every class, and without passing English subject he is not promoted to higher class, isn't it? So Bangladeshi students are either graduate or postgraduate are successful in written form, but unsuccessful in spoken form. But what is the cause behind this? What is the drawback behind this? That is, there is no any practical system.
In the past, you can see we acquired some, we know some grammatical system, verbs, adverbs, preposition, noun, pronoun, adverb, phrase, many kinds of prepositions. We learn from books, and we can make a nice sentence. But in this time, in the present time, we cannot. The teachers or curriculum or the syllabus will not provide us as a grammatical site. That's why our student is very much poor in English language. In the past, you can see your father, my father, they are very much efficient in English language. But nowadays, we can see another scenario. And what the difference in the past and present?
Thank you very much. It's an important question, important problem to be addressed very minutely in our country. As English is not our mother tongue, you know, Mr. Masudur Rahman Tuhin, English foreign language, and now it is the second language in our country. And you know, a language is nothing but the combination of sentences.
Right.
And if you want to form or make any sentence, you need to know the formation, the rules of formation, the rules how to make sentences.
Right.
And grammar is nothing but the study of sentences.
Right.
Grammar is the study of sentence. So without knowing grammar, we cannot make sentences, and without making sentences, we cannot be expert in any language.
Right.
Even in Bangla, we make sentences, but subconsciously, we make sentences in Bangla.
Right.
We subconsciously follow Bangla grammars. As Bangla is our mother tongue, we learn this from our mother's home. As a result, we need not learn Bangla grammar separately from making sentences. Automatically we learn this. Even the situation, environment is Bangla learning situation and Bangla learning friendly situation or environment in our country. So we need not to learn Bangla grammar separately. But English is a foreign language. We have very little opportunity to practice this language, especially spoken form in our country. Everywhere we speak in Bangla. Suppose in classroom, in the market, on the bus, in the station, on the road, wherever we go, we speak in Bangla. We learn, we hear Bangla. Everywhere, even in schools, colleges, or universities. Chemistry is taught in Bangla, mathematics in Bangla, Bangla is taught in Bangla.
Yes.
All the subjects,
Yes.
even ludicrously, English is also taught in Bangla.
Right. And I would like to raise this question. You can see that in a English class, you can see the English teacher can teach in English in Bangla.
Yes, this is very ludicrous. Yeah, very laughing or ludicrous matter, isn't it? And you know, as I am an English teacher, at college level, and though you are a philosophy teacher, you are also very much conscious of English language. Your father were very much expert in English, and you are also expert in English. So you do not know the importance of English less than I. You know very well. This is very much ludicrous matter. That means laughing matter of laughter,
Right.
matter of unfortunate matter. That even most of the English teachers from high school level to college level themselves are unable to speak in English fluently, so they take English classes in Bangla. Where will the students learn English?
Right. Right.
It is very much unfortunate.
I think our government take necessary steps to develop our second language, especially I'd like to say English language, and even without English language we cannot go ahead. If we go to abroad or if we go through any kinds of important books which is written in English form, so we have to know, we have to learn English easily. My dear viewers, we're discussing about important topics, importance of learning English. Thank you very much. Thank you, our guest, Mr. Islam Ujjal, and your nice presentation on these topics. Another day we'll come back. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers.
I would also like to thank the respectable Facebook friends and who have already watched the live video, and you have given me much time. I am grateful to you all, and the importance of learning English and importance of English in our in the perspective of our country is very deep. So it is not possible to finish the discussion of the importance of learning English by a day. So we'll have to discuss later on. Maybe tomorrow we'll come to live again. Today I would like to stop here, and I pray to Allah for the betterment and longevity all the people of the world. And now I would like to end until tomorrow. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.